What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is JC, and I'm glad to have you today. I know we're in the middle of a soup series, part 2, number 3 was a failure. However, my beautiful, amazing daughter has been craving some beef jerky, so today, that's where we're at. We're making beef jerky. It's going to be a 2. Alright, so here we are. I'm glad you're back. And I just want to mention a couple things. I'm super proud. For those of you that have subscribed and give me some watch time and some likes and comments, it means a lot to me. I'm super, super happy. But I want to mention that 78% of my views are non-subscribers, and only 25% come from America, the USA. So for those of you looking at other countries or other lands or wherever you may be, please hit that thumbs up, that subscribe button. You know what to do. Leave me a comment. If you don't want to subscribe because you think I'm terrible, that's fine too. Leave me a message about that. Teach me how to get a little better. That's all I'm asking. Okay, so today's lesson is beef jerky. We got a few spices. We got a tablespoon and a half of garlic powder, not garlic salt, a tablespoon of onion powder, and a tablespoon of paprika. That's going to help us with our beef today. And we're going to be mixing in some old moonshine. Did I say moonshine? Mason jars is what I meant to call them. So we got some nice round steak that is thinly sliced already for us. It's a stir-fry kind of steak. You can get it cut at your local butcher, your local Walmart, your local Kroger, wherever you shop. They'll cut it for you. They got a meat. If they got a meat department, they'll cut it for you. But I like to buy it this way. It's really reasonable. It's the perfect thickness, and it's really good meat. You don't want a lot of fat in it. You don't want a lot of fat. A little bit of render out whenever you get to cooking it, but a lot of fat can get a little bit rancid. So isn't that some beautiful beef already sliced up thin for us? So I showed you some of the spices. We have a little bit of pepper and a little salt if we need to add some. We've got some Cavender Greek seasoning. Again, this is a Click family favorite. This right here, mason jar or moonshine jar, is what we're going to actually marinate the meat in. The other one is made for like mixing. You don't need no ninja mixer, none of that crap. Just get you a moonshine jar, put the lid on it, shake it up. Look for the snake eyes going across the side. You'll be good. Then you gotta have Lee and Perrins. You gotta have Lee and Perrins Worcestershire sauce. Alright, so we got a 1/4 cup of that ready to go. Of course, some Texas Pete for a little heat. That was stupid. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. There's a little bit of that. Texas Pete going there. And then the key ingredient is soy sauce. One reason you don't need to add much salt. You can add the little pink salt if you want to make it last, or you're shipping it to people, or you're selling product. It doesn't last long in our family. This will be gone by tomorrow, all of it. But you want to buy a good product, especially when it comes to that. So the key command is really good soy sauce, and it's 1/3 of a cup, not a 1/4 of a cup. And again, the Lee and Perrins, it's much more expensive than your little local brand. Well worth it. You can buy better hot sauce if you like, or you can use some Texas Pete's 99 cents. And then a key ingredient, I had it just on low warming up in the oven, but this is local Kentucky honey. It's so local it's not even sold. So, a little sweet, a little heat. You gotta have both. You can use brown sugar. Brown sugar actually helps you break down the meat a little better. Thought I had some, but I guess I use it all during the Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday. So basically at this point, we're just going to get started. It's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. We're going to start with our shaker for marinade, right? And so we've got the Lee and Perrins, Worcestershire sauce. We got the Texas Pete hot sauce. Give it a little heat. You can add cayenne pepper, whatever, you know. A lot of people add red pepper flakes. My daughter doesn't like them because they get all over the place, get stuck in her braces. So we exchange that for a little bit of Texas Pete. We're going to add some fresh honey. Oh, goodness. Ah, that's beautiful right there. You know, I like a little sweetness in mine. Some people I've seen, they add the brown sugar, the honey, the molasses, all of it. That's a little much for me. I like a little sweet, a little heat. So this right here is the key ingredient, the kick 'em on soy sauce. So we're going to dump that in there. We're going to take our spices. And it smells pretty good already. It smells pretty good. So we're going to take our 3 main spices. We're going to add those in there. A little bit of cabinet Greek seasoning. Not much. A little bit of black pepper. I like black pepper, that's why I added a little extra. And just a little salt. About a half tablespoon. That's all you need. Put the lid on it. Now I want to mention something that's really, really, really important. You don't want to add too much marinade. If you fill it up with a half gallon of marinade, the meat just gets so salty, so terrible. I've made the mistake before. I promise you. I've made that mistake. I put so much sauce in there, or marinade, homemade marinade, whatever you want to call it. And so I have completely cut down the recipe. I mean, I used to do like the whole jar, right? The whole thing. You don't need it. I promise you that meat will soak it up. So give it a few shakes. You want to make sure you get it all married together. The sweet, the heat, the salt, all of it. Get it married up a little bit. Some people like to put it in the refrigerator and let this actually set and settle for 24 hours. I disagree with that, and there's a couple of reasons. One, beef is really important before you cook it or before you marinate it to let it get room temperature. If you notice this right here, it is room temperature. And it's important for 2 reasons. One, it helps absorb the moisture from the spices and the seasoning and let the moisture from the meat out. And it helps the fibers in the meat, specifically beef. It helps it just be able to kind of relax, get soft, and be pliable, which is where you want it. It makes it softer, sweeter, better tasting. If you got a steak and it's frozen and you try to cook it cold or frozen or whatever, it's going to be tough as a boot. So that's just my little hints. Not that you got to listen to them, because I've had a lot of beef jerky that's really good that I would have never made it like they did, and I was pretty impressed. So, you know, everybody's kind of to their own. All right, so at this point, we got our marinade going, and again, that's about all you need. And so we're going to take the other jar, and some people are like, why wouldn't you just throw the meat in there? Because you want to layer it out a little bit. So I'm going to throw a little bit of that good, beautiful, keep wanting to call it moonshine. I think I'm just missing some moonshine. You don't want to season it. You want it thin. Thin like this, won't take long. If you notice there's not a lot of fat, a little bit of fat's okay. It'll render that. But you don't want to have so much fat where it becomes rancid, because you are going to slow cook it. A lot of people say 160. I prefer to do it a little lower than that and cook it a little longer. I think it gives it a better flavor and it helps it a little bit. So we're just going to keep separating them all. We're going to take that little bit there, mix it around. We're going to add a little more. Then we're going to add a little more of the juice to it. It's a pretty simple process. I mean, I'm just mixing it in there good. I want to get every piece mixed in really well. I'm going to keep adding it. And I'm going to keep saucing it. Woo! I want to break it up first. And so, a couple other things I want to mention is about the stove versus the dehydrator. You can do it in the dehydrator. That's what I do now. It's simpler. It just works a little easier. It doesn't get the stove so dirtied up. You can add tinfoil or whatever. I grew up doing it in the stove. This is my father's recipe. So this another click recipe. He always did it in the stove. It just made sense. I don't even know if you could get a dehydrator. I don't even know if Walmart was local at that point. So I actually remember the very first microwave we ever received when I was a kid. Well, we didn't receive it. My father bought it for his wife, my mother, and she passed away shortly after that. However, it was kind of a big deal in the neighborhood. It was like getting a new flat screen TV or a new iPhone X Max 12, 17 or whatever they got going on now. But, so life changes quick, life changes fast. Some of these old good ways of doing things stay relevant, I promise you. I promise you that. So, my favorite way to make this is with deer jerky. I don't know if you guys ever had deer jerky, but this is the best way to do it. So, all right, at this point, I'm gonna cut the camera off. You see what I'm doing? I got about half of it left, and I'll catch back up with you. Nothing but love. All right, so we're back. It's looking delicious. I just finished up putting all the meat in there, so you see I got a whole moonshine jar full of good round steak, sliced up thinly. Adding the rest of my little marinade to it. I'm gonna put the lid on it. Give it a few more shakes. And here's another difference, guys. Once you seal it and once you put it in there, and if the meat's room temperature, like I suggested, and your spices are room temperature, you don't have to put it in the refrigerator and marinate this for no 17 freaking days. Just joking. 24 hours, most people do. When you put it in a cold environment, like I talked about earlier, the meat actually absorbs the moisture from the marinade or the spice or whatever you want to call it a lot. It takes a lot longer. If you put it in here, let it sit. I suggest putting it upside down, mix it around. Give it a half an hour, and we're putting it on the dehydrator. Be back. You guys are awesome, man. You're beautiful. I love y'all. Alright, so that's pretty much it for today's vlog. I'm just sitting here with my meat, letting it simmer, shake, marry together. It's a beautiful mixture. It's a great combination. See how much of the marinade is still in there with just a quarter cup of this, a half, or not even a half. I don't think I used a half or anything. Anyway, you guys are beautiful. Love you. Have a great day. Join me again tomorrow for the second part of the jerky series. You guys are beautiful. I love you. Nothing but love. Enjoy your life. Have a Merry Christmas. I'm just joking. Spring's coming for all you Twitter painted people. Have a good day.